finish, then we can never have our evening meal, you know? Yeah? Yeah, she's like, okay, fair enough. I like that idea. She's like, food if you work? Cool, I'm into it. Alright, in the top right-hand corner, we're going to start off this best of 5 with the red Protoss player. This is going to be MaxPax. And in the bottom left, our blue Terran player is going to be ByuN. Give me 1 sec. I'm going to have to open my stream elements to read the message because I missed it on the donation. Bexvart, thank you so much for the £8 donation. Put a few quid aside for some biscuits for Ellie. Absolutely. She actually just got new biscuits yesterday, but I will, I can backwards expense them. Yeah, she'll get some of those, I promise. Thank you so much for the £8, I appreciate it. Alright, TVP, I mean, this is the one that I think a lot of people have been waiting for. Some ByuN versus MaxPax, best of 5. A matchup which has all the talk lately. You know, a matchup which is, you know, we've talked about a lot today already. We've had some balance whining. We've had some discussion. It's been fun. But, yeah, I do think we have ourselves a fun one here in this winner bracket semi-finals. Who will get to the winner bracket finals and guarantee top 3 in this OSC Mid Season Playoff? And who shall be knocked down to the lower bracket to have to play for their tournament life next time they appear in this event? That's what we're going to find out. It is best of 5. Like I say, winner bracket semis. And we will have a look to see whether MaxPax and ByuN get off to a hot start. In case you're not aware, Hecate is one of the old ladder maps. This is part of the OSC extended map pool. So basically, some old maps get voted in for each season of OSC, 3 maps to be exact. So this season it's Golden Aura, Ancient Cistern, and Hecate making up the map pool alongside the typical ladder maps that you already see in pretty much every tournament. So just explain why Hecate's here, as we do open with that factory from ByuN. No command center just yet. There it is. So he's going to go low ground with it, but after the factory, so still going to be pretty safe and pretty tech heavy in the early stages. The Hellion coming through, reactor coming about, and we get settled in. Game 1 of this final series of the day. Like I said, it's been 6 hours or so for me casting already, guys. 6 hours 20 apparently. So thanks for watching. It's been an amazing day. Like I said, we really just manifested a bunch of subscriptions into existence. So thank you so much if you took part in that, and thank you for being here and watching. We appreciate your support. Like I say, all of it helps us to do more StarCraft 2 content. If you're still out there on the YouTube and you don't already, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button as well. I appreciate you guys. As our Reaper showed up, did a little bit of bopping around, and now decides to back up and go elsewhere. Gateway going to come down onto the natural. Got that blinker coming up and online as well. It's just going to get a lot of this on the go. Again, the command center and starport building as well. And that starport's about to finish. So get the starport finished up. Wouldn't mind on the factory. Just see the adept trying to shade through in toward the natural right now. And trying to get to the high ground. Will not be able to. Marines and the Hellion will go and kill the adept off. So that's going to be a KO. Again, blink on the way. Robo facility coming through. A couple of additional gates building as well. Can I give an overview of people's standings? If you type !B, you can see the bracket. So this is the OSC Mid Season Playoffs. So it's just a bracket. So this is the winner bracket semifinals, basically. It's the first link in the bracket command. The second link is the event that we did earlier today. Robo facility is going to be coming through. So we just get that finished up on the front from MaxPax, and very regular so far. Not really a lot to shout about at the start of Hecate. Very normal beginning. Not really anything too crazy just yet. As we have the siege tank settling down on the ramp. We do have the medevac over here. I love that play. The Widow Mine is going to get a stalker. MaxPax just gives it up. He just walks through that mine. He knew what he was doing. He wanted to get down here, protect these probes. And yeah, that's why it was a great play from ByuN. Putting it onto the ramp forces you to basically walk down through it, or to not use those stalkers as the defense, in which case a lot of probes likely go down. Cute little play. Reaper Hellion going to get caught by the stalkers as they step out. They try to make their way through. A little bit of a blink, and the Reaper falls. The Hellion will be chased. Medevac on the top side, still lingering for a few moments. And yeah, the couple of assimilators setting up as well. Stalkers to the bottom of the map. The Prism moving as well. It's going to have that bunker still coming online. The barracks is still producing through. Viking, tank, marine, all coming up as additional stalkers come online as well. Temple Archives will be building from MaxPax as the stalkers will settle toward the bottom left corner here. And marine, tank, Viking all coming through. So you're having the few stalkers blink across. Tank shots are hitting big onto those stalkers. 4 of them able to evacuate into the War Prism, and we begin to back away for the moment. Should you come back in with this medevac, and it's going to be the target initially. How many probes do we get? We actually get rid of a stalker, and now we turn on to probes. It's not a bad drop in the end. 3 workers and a stalker. It's decent. I thought he was going to get a couple more workers, to be honest, but just ran out of steam a little bit toward the end as the Prism looks to get into the main base. The observers provide vision, so we know exactly what's here, and we know we can get in with these stalkers initially, but the tank is nearby. He's playing nicely around the edge. We just walked in at the end. And the Viking is an amazing card of pushing this back, right? So just going to see the Prism taking some damage, push the other way, and now getting back on the map again. Storm and Charge going to be the next part of this game. So getting those upgrades on the way through, Stimpack Combat Shield and the +1 all building as well. Our third Nexus is going to finish in a few moments' time, so we get that completed. With the third Nexus out, the Stalker's over to the left. We're just going to get a couple more High Templar warping in also. And obviously it is Storm on the way through. MaxPax is really carrying the flag for Storm play in PvT. He's really not kind of deterred away from it too heavily at all. In fact, he kind of went away from it for maybe the first couple days, but he's really fully embraced Storm play once more in this matchup. He has continued to play Storm, he's continued to play it out, and he's really kind of, like I say, endorsed kind of this kind of style of play recently. Archon going to go down, the few Stalkers going to get pushed away. ByuN will shove up as a couple of siege tanks can settle down. The Honey Temple has to pull a bit further back. We start hitting our Nexus already, so Nexus taking damage. And we're just going to be seeing the Zealot. Going to lead the charge, trying to absorb some shots. Decides to run back, though. Does live, but it drains a lot of battery energy. We got to go soon, right? I mean, the Nexus is going down. High Templar ready to go. Let's see what that looks like. Storm on the top 2 Marines. Feels a little overkill, as we are going to be seeing the High Templar then dropping down dead as well. No save from the Prism. There's 3 siege tanks still alive here. A couple of Zealots left. We'll get rid of one of the tanks now. At least, can we get rid of the other couple of Zealots here? It looks as though we should be able to. The tank's just working on the Nexus during this. At this point, we're going to finish the Nexus off, and I think ByuN will be okay with that. Grab a few probes on the tail end. He just knocked the third base away from MaxPax here, and MaxPax did not manage to survive through this. So that is a brutal. Only ever getting a single High Templar out, the Archon dying, and yeah, this was a great push. Obviously, ByuN now behind it, 3rd CC moving into position. The Ghost Academy just completed, so we can begin to prepare the Ghost, which obviously going to be a major positive for you in the long run here as well. So we get toward that. A couple Storms coming down the bottom side, and the Prism escapes to the bottom as well. Viking, Marine, Marauder, Ghost still coming through. We had on the missile turret, we had on the Archon and the Nexus. There is going to be a couple more shots coming in here or there as well. Go to the left, Observer goes down. On the bottom, we have our Prism also moving over here. So a couple Ghosts coming through, SCVs and the missile turret coming about. Still got the armor upgrade building on the engineering bay. And yeah, the Prism's still moving about for a couple of moments. We got the Ghosts, we got the Vikings, we got the Marines. And there's just really not a lot of units here, but obviously that's where the multi-prong comes from. Maybe we can create some mismatch in terms of the amount of units that are positioned here or there so far. Not really the case. That Prism goes into the corner. We actually do get a lot of SCVs here. Taking a long time to clean that up, and the Prism actually still alive in the corner too. However, ByuN is chasing forward, and he is looking to clean this army out. One Storm like that is not going to really cut it anymore. That's not how Storm works nowadays. You can't just drop it on the army and think, haha, he'll turn around now. No. Storm doesn't work like that. It works very differently, so that one does not really stop ByuN from advancing. Like I said, biggest shame here is that he let the Prism just survive in the corner. This should have absolutely been a clean out. As ByuN pulls back over, gets a little bit more cleaning up done. I mean, I think ByuN could actually go across the map and put some good pressure on. He's double army supply. He's got the tech to really deal with the Storm as well. I think he's in a pretty cool spot. This army getting all the way up top now. Like I said, obviously MaxPax rebuilt that third base off losing it earlier, so he's had really drained economy compared to what he should have had in this matchup. We scan ahead. Those High Templar are hanging very far back. They're afraid of the EMPs, but we're going to have to start bringing them forward. We need something here, but EMPs are going to go down. It's very difficult when you have a small army right now as a Protoss player, and none of this is really going to work out in your favor. ByuN is going to take an opening game of this series as MaxPax. Save yourself. Okay, I can save you. C code. Don't ban him. Well, honestly, do what you want. Do whatever you think a mod should do. I don't know. I don't even know what's going on. I literally just read this as we open in the game. Let's jump into game number 2 in the top left side. Our red Protoss player here is MaxPax as we enter Pylon. For game number 2, he's going to build a Pylon on Pylon. Wow, MaxPax is such a meta player. As in the bottom right side, our blue Terran is going to be the Shopify Rebellion. It's ByuN. Again, shout out to OSC, guys, as we just have a couple moments at the start of this one. This is the OSC Mid Season Playoffs. This is not a Wardy tournament. OSC running a lot of their own events, partnering with a bunch of events. They're a sponsor of the WardiTV Monday. You know, OSC do so many great things in StarCraft too. Shout out to them giving us some games to cast today. And throughout the last couple of weeks, we've been doing a bunch of OSC stuff. Been a lot of fun. And again, they do so much. If you want to check out more about them, oscesports.com. That is their website. They track all of the events they're partnered with and so on. All of the events they partner with have a have points that are given out that add toward the OSC world ranking. That is what makes up the OSC Championship at the end of the year. The OSC Championship's played in January usually. So when January comes around, what you will see on the channel is probably a lot of OSC Championship games with players that do well in these events. So it's really cool. It's genuinely like a full-on year-long circuit for StarCraft, which really envelops a whole bunch of different size events. Like this is a $2,000 tournament. They have weekly cups. You know, this one's the Monday Cup, for example. Then there's the even smaller weekly cups with like $15 to $50 prize pools that they get part of as well. Like OSC is part of so much in StarCraft 2. Excited for the next championship coming, like I say, this January. Like I say, it's a mainstay on the channel. We're here every single January for some OSC Championship action. It's a lot of fun. We really enjoy it. Next is Adept, Warp Gate, all coming up. We get our battery down here from MaxPax as well. As you can see, the factory, reactor, and command center will all build into place and get ready to roll. For game number 2 of this best of 5 series, ByuN with the 1-0 lead, and Pylon for our battlefield for this second map. As our Twilight Council comes through, the Adept and the Warp Gate coming up. You see the Reaper moving in. Is going to be able to go in after the probe for a couple of moments as well. Just going to be trying to get a little bit more done. That Reaper's still taking some damage for the moment. And Twilight Council Stalker and the Warp Gate coming up right now. Just going to see that gateway continue to come through. The Adept will make its way across the map for the moment. Getting straight across there just for now, as mentioned. Bring that straight through. The Adept, again, a couple shots off on the Hellion. And is going to be able to clean it out in the end as the Reaper continues to play the chasing game. Hunting that Adept down for the moment. A few Marines show up. The Adept goes back the other side. A few Marines going to gather there. Command Center building onto the natural. A couple more Marines join up together. Blink on the way. Warp Gate still building. And we just have our orbital moving through. We get an SCV and the medevac. A couple of Marines coming over as well. Everything joining together. Robotics facility halfway done. Gateway still building into place. The Adept is going to shade and fade. And yeah, the Reaper will continue to the top side. So, Reaper to the top. And just looking for a pokeabout on toward the natural. The Adept continues to move through, and tanking a couple of Marines coming about. We just have, Blink in the Prism, continue to come by for the moment. Marine's going to get in after the Adept right there, so looking for a little bit more value. Able to get a kill is nice, and the Reaper going to get the probe over here as well, so a couple of kills back to back for ByuN. 1.5 minutes on Pylon, and we see ByuN. There's again the Raven that's going to create a little bit of harassment opportunity for him. Obviously, with that Raven available, he can get onto the map. He can kind of drop some auto turrets down. There's a lot of value he can find, so a lot he can hope for there. As this Reaper pulls out over to the right side, Prism and the Stalkers are going to move through the center of the map as well. So they're going to come across at the same time as, yeah, we have the Raven probably trying to move across the map too. Raven might stay at home even for a while, help play a little bit of the defense initially against those Stalkers, which are showing up. We get 3 more Stalkers warping in, and the Prism will provide some opportunity here to make some moves. Starport switches across, and we're going to fly over to the left-hand side. The barracks is going to relocate. Actually just drops down here to try and wall the siege tank a bit. Stalkers do manage to get the tank anyway, so that was a little awkward with the racks being up in the sky. I think he just wanted to drop it down to try and keep the tank safe, but it doesn't happen in the end. And look at that, super low HP on so many of those Stalkers. We didn't lose a single one. MaxPax getting the most out of those. Obviously low now, so we'll be a little bit vulnerable in the future, but still, you know, getting them out alive is the main #1 priority. And we are able to move with that very comfortably. So good job, MaxPax. Great effort. As you see a few extra gates coming online, the Nexus coming up. The charge will build on the Twilight Council as well. So we bring that online. The Stalkers are ready to maybe make a blink up into the main also very shortly. Stem on the way. Sorry, that's the Raven. Mentioned it would be coming across the map, and it has made its way to the other side. As a few additional gates come online, the Forge coming through. We had some batteries, we had the charge. Continue to get that going. We drop another auto turret down in that mineral line. So again, look to get after a couple more probes already. 5 workers going down. A couple Stalkers add up. Marine Marauder, Stimpack +1 building as well. The rest of the Stalkers continue through just for the moment. And yeah, the +1 on the charge continue to come into play also. The Immortal is about halfway. The probes in the battery coming online as well here. I mean, honestly, not bad that this Raven is now a 5-kill Raven. It's really not bad just off some auto turrets. So pretty decent so far as the gateway count continues to get pushed up. We're going to go Robobay. Hey, MaxPax, like I say, has been flying that kind of storm flag recently. But he's going to head on into a Robobay for game #2. So going to play something a little bit different here for Pylon. Obviously, Storm didn't work out from that last game, but he just wasn't ready for the attack, to be fair. You know, you can maybe blame on Storm a little bit. Like I said, I don't think this is like, oh my god, he's done with Storm situation. He's using Storm so much still. But still interesting to see him just switching to the Robobay right now for this game #2. So Robobay is going to be done shortly, and with that said, it's the Ghost Academy at the moment from ByuN. It's fine if he gets a couple ghosts. He can't go overboard if your opponent's not actually going into like High Templar or anything. He needs to identify this, get toward Vikings a little bit sooner instead. Again, Marauder Viking continuing up, just having the Marine's going to catch an observer in that scan. ByuN has been one of the best observer spotters recently. He has been so good at watching and spotting obs in so many scenarios when they're stationary, when they're moving, when they're kind of just expected to be somewhere. I swear down, I'm seeing ByuN scan more observers than any other Terran lately. So gets to an array there, but we get a couple shots off, a little bit of back and forth currently. Even still, just getting that +2 attack on the way. There's the thermal lance. Give us that range on the Colossus. Factory's up in the sky, no surprise. The Viking Ghosts on the way from here, so it's pretty expected really to see the factory not doing much. Just going to act as a little bit of vision out to that right side, watch for any prisms coming in a little bit preemptively. Turret drops it down. Mrs. Pylon will take some more damage. The Stalker's going to step across. So they're going to come over for a few moments. I mean, again, the auto turret. Raven just trying to do more. It's only gotten to 6 kills, so it's only +1 kill since we last really checked in on it. But yeah, just trying to find interesting places to auto turret, like between bases when probes are transferring could be cool, where there's no battery nearby, right? Like this. Yeah, I can say some cool ideas. Again, Storm, +2 attack, and the Thermal Lance all coming across the Colossus building, and a few other units collecting at the front of the 4th base. This is the Zealot. There's going to be an easy pickoff. That goes down. Now the rest of the Stalkers still pressing through as well. ByuN's been very defensive. He's had no reason to push out. No big move. That observer just flies into turret range, so that one's not on ByuN looking good and spotting well. That's just MaxPax flying straight up and into him. Yeah, ByuN's ready to take a 4th base out over to that left side as well. But yeah, very slow going game. Like, don't get me wrong, we've had some action. Obviously, we've had some units going around. Apparently, the Raven died as well. Apologies. But it's supposed to mean MaxPax instigating, and then ByuN with the Raven, and otherwise we're kind of sat back, like I say. I see MaxPax is going to take advantage of this calmness. He's already added the Storm. I guess quite literally this was the calm before the Storm, because now Storm's available. He's going to get Gravitic Drive as well for some Prism speed. And with the 5th base coming down, just like I say, establishing into a nice solid position, as these guys are going to be maxed out when they next fight, most likely. And we will see who can take some good maxed out engagements. Typically, lately, it has been, you know, we've been discussing the idea that I think the later the game goes, the more comfortable Terrans seem to be, because that, Ghosts and EMPs can do very well against these Protoss armies. Like, later game has been a little bit more kind of friendly to Terrans recently, so MaxPax isn't afraid, though. Like, he's not been afraid at all to kind of step to this late game. He's not, he's been poking around a little bit, but he's not been pushing the issue too much. Like, he's been pretty content to let this game develop into a later stage, and not really, like I say, do too much about it as the Stalker Colossus move forward. Goes from the front there, will go down. Hits a nice EMP on a couple of sentries and some zealots before it dies, at least. A couple of those Colossus without shields as well. Just going to be seeing the Vikings trying to step up. Colossus take damage. One more Storm coming down. Missile turret will take a few more shots. And +1 ship weapons, 2/2 upgrades, all coming about right here. Vikings and Marauders coming through the Prism. Very nearly going down. Missile turret will make sure it goes down. Just going to be able to knock that down immediately. Again, the rest of the Stalker Colossus coming across around the left-hand side. Maybe looking for a push onto this 4th, so MaxPax looking to instigate a larger fight. We're walking up here immediately, though. Look at that. EMPs go down instantly. The High Templars are way far back, and the first Colossus falls super easily. Honestly, kind of thought we'd see a second Colossus die. It's going to die now anyway. A couple of Viking shots will do that there. And yeah, I think that's it's a very good initial defense, but also a very uninspiring attack from MaxPax. Colossus right at the front. High Templar way far back. Just running up a ramp to absolutely zero success at all. Like, there's no wonder this sort of attack doesn't work. The attack on the right side does nothing because ByuN's not being afraid enough on the left to have to pull units over, so he just has a good amount of defense left over here. A little bit of ByuN going to step up. The Zealot is going to go down and clean that out. The Archon Immortals and the Colossus still trying to step through. The Vikings are there to fire, and they will knock the Colossus away, so that's one more Colossus killed already. Okay, Templars on the left side still trying to gather together here. You just see this reactor coming through, so we're going to get those medevacs in a better place. +3/+2 on the way through. Missile turrets hitting the Prism. 5th Nexus from MaxPax will be in place on the left side. Again, the rest of this army coming forward. +2 armor about to finish up. The cloaking and the +2 ship weapons coming through too. Viking Ghost to the left-hand side. ByuN actually stepping out onto the map. Look at him go, man. Look at him go. He's actually doing things. He's going to get rid of 2 Colossus nice and quickly right there. It's going to be a nice couple of grabs. A couple High Templar trying to come forward. ByuN gets rid of one of them nice and easily as well. Now seeing a couple more Storms coming by. Again, just trying to keep everything else back. Nexus to the bottom left-hand corner. He's going to set up a base there. Zealot's going to charge in on the right side. Still a good defense as long as we don't let these High Templar do too much, and it's going to be difficult. They are going to drop a Storm onto the mineral line. Snipe on one, EMP on the other. A little late, took a Storm, but obviously, again, not too much. The Zealots already have to back up. They're already low-end shields. Again, ByuN's split defensively has been great. Now, MaxPax taking this bottom left-hand corner base. Interesting one to end up expanding too. I'm surprised he hasn't tried to take this top right corner. It's not like ByuN has put any pressure onto the map, really. So MaxPax could probably just take any base he wanted to if he really, he do what you want, MaxPax, TLDR. ByuN is not really stopping you. But, well, I tell you what he is stopping you from doing. He's stopping you from just running up ramps into his army. Like, ByuN is just playing good defense left and right side of the map currently. And MaxPax currently, honestly, feels almost a little bit hopeless and helpless. Like, I don't know if he knows what his goal really is here. Like, he's trying to split and go from 2 sides, and it's just not working. Resources lost 5.7 to 12.2k different. I mean, that's just awful. 7k difference. And like I say, it just feels like MaxPax. My main concern is that it feels like MaxPax is super uninspired. Like, what is he trying to really achieve with these attacks? I mean, he is now progressing. He's adding on a fleet beacon, right? So he's maybe looking towards some later game tech units. Gets up here, gets a tank, but has to basically fall back straight away again. The EMP into Vikings on the Colossus is scary, so I'll be cautious with those. Don't really have much to really protect from the Vikings. I mean, Storm's in a good position maybe, but like, we're just not dropping those down in any sort of place to deal with the Vikings. Both Colossus get zapped, and next thing you know, we're on the right side again, looking over here for basically no hope either. Like, MaxPax's army is just not getting it done at all. And ByuN playing this very solid defense right now. Looking great to maybe extend to a 2-0 lead in this best of 5. Stalker Immortal going to push through the front. The next bottom left side will be found and killed, so there's -1 base for MaxPax. Now suddenly he's about to be 5 base versus 5 base, because he took such a silly base. Like, why are we going over there when instead of up here? Like, at least ByuN still had to take this location. Templars coming up, Colossus and Zealots coming through, a few more probes transfer. 9 SCVs went down for ByuN, but I just don't know if he really cares about 9 SCVs right now. Man's maxed out, he's building up a bank. MaxPax has 83 workers, so great economy, but maybe he actually needs to lose some workers to be able to afford a little bit more army supply on the field at any point, because right now the armies he's got are just not doing anything at all. Not that I'm really sure if quantity is going to solve the problem, but to be fair, when he's been trying to do these split pushes, like, neither side has looked specifically scary, right? Like, the right side being like 12 Zealots and like 2 High Templar, that's scary if your opponent's out of position, but because nothing much else is going on, ByuN was never out of position, so it looks absolutely horrible. Splandry will cancel, and we're not going to bother with that as the Vikings go into a storm. That was a better storm. That actually had, zones the Vikings back and does some damage to them, so can stop them from doing as much. And all of this would have been fine because ByuN, remember, has basically not stepped across the halfway mark of this map. All of this would have been fine, I think, for MaxPax if these 2 bases were just up and running. And I just don't think there's any reason for them not to be, quite frankly. Like, he's set up to play a game where he's like, I'm going to, be aggressively defending bases by just being on your side of the map. But he just never took extra bases. Like, now, like, he took the bottom left, and he's going to try and do that one again. So he's really committed to that idea of that direction, which I find very interesting. I mean, let's see what he does from here. Army going to poke forward. I mean, he is getting Tempest online, like I say, his army is getting better. 4 Colossus here this time. Going to be a bit better too. It's a little bit more difficult to knock 4 Colossi down quickly, as has been the 2 that have been around pretty much every fight so far. Bottom left base still going down. I mean, this base just feels unattainable. And honestly, maybe the top right base starts to feel unattainable too right now, because maybe there's a chance ByuN just gets more aggressive and pushes up there. Now that he's got this base down, that's why I felt like before this base got established, that was the time to get this base up running and really operational, get that extra income banked up already. Tempest are building. We're going to move around the left-hand side, and we have ourselves the chance to move up this ramp. Since tower goes down, a couple of missile turrets immediately in some trouble, but ByuN comes in from the right-hand side, gets a jump on this. MaxPax wasn't ready for him to come from there. Those are some okay-ish storms going in the right kind of places, but ByuN had too much of a jump on this army, and he gets up close and personal super quickly, and MaxPax is just getting demaxed. He was 200, and now he's 125 supply, and ByuN is maxed and hasn't even really had to spend much. That was an awful fight for MaxPax. It's honestly kind of story of this game, right? Like, just bad fight after bad fight for MaxPax. He's not found any way to find success in these armies. And honestly, it's all the splash damage. The Colossus have felt terrible. The High Templar have felt terrible. And like I say, maybe all of that's fine if you make a switch and you get extra bases up, but you just didn't really do any of that either. And at this point, you maybe lost too much to really survive in this game. He had some bank accounts. We were rebuilding a little bit. A couple of EMPs still coming down. Those High Templars dropping. The ByuN pushing through. ByuN threatening the 2-0 lead right now. On the other side of the map, DTs show up, and they're going to get rid of a planetary. So, hey, they're going to go for 2 planetaries, back-to-back base kills. So that's good, but is that the only thing we've really got going for us here? Probably. I think it might be. Cannons going down, probes being chased, these High Templar falling. MaxPax's supply is kind of hanging on a little bit, like 80 army supply. It's reasonable, but there's barely any bank left over. Yeah, the DTs were annoying, and ByuN lost a bunch of workers, but hey, we also lost 30 probes, so it's pretty brutal as the Bio Ghost pulls back around to the bottom side for the moment. Tempest and Colossus coming through. The DT going to go swinging through the planetary there, but that's going to get cleaned up as well. A couple libs coming about. Templars, Tempest, Stalkers. A couple of those Stalkers to get underneath. The Liberator range is still building through as well, so getting that straight up. It's going to drop one more scan down, take that position. And again, a couple of Colossus will be on the way from MaxPax currently. So we got those couple of Colossus coming through right now. Again, Liberator range, plus 2 vehicle plating. Extra missile turrets and the planetary fortress all coming in. The Stalker Tempest count making a bid to the bottom right-hand side. We're going to scan the upper right as well, as you are going to see that Stalker nibbling up at the Liberator. Liberator's going to take some damage and go down. So we at least deny that bit of aggression. We're still fighting in the center. Storm's coming down. ByuN is going to go back and forth through some of those storms. You know what? Honestly, this is one of those fights where if MaxPax actually had a competitive army at this point, that's the kind of fight that would have been good for him. His entire army's half HP before anything really engaged, but MaxPax can't engage because he's down 50 army supply. Like, that was actually a moment where Storms did a lot of work, and maybe part of it is because ByuN knew he's kind of very far ahead army-wise, so he doesn't respect the Storms that much in that regard, because he just knows that there's no follow-up anyway. So maybe that's why he stood in them a little bit. It felt like he was a bit indecisive, like he was like, I feel like I should just be able to go, and then he was like, well, maybe I should respect it a bit more. Yeah, this does look like ByuN is going to get that 2-0 lead in this best of 5. Because this game is... Honestly, this has been one of the more miserable games for MaxPax that I've cast in a long time. Like, this really felt like he had... Like I say, it feels like he had no direction. I'm so used to... I don't know how to explain it, because, like... Did he do anything overly weird? No. I just felt as though, like, every time you try to attack up one side or the other, it just felt hopeless. And it's so rare that someone plays MaxPax to that kind of a position where MaxPax has control of the map and it just doesn't matter. ByuN is going to win this fight, and he's actually going to get a GG from MaxPax to take us to a game number 3. Oh. Bottom left-hand side. Down 0-2, it's going to be our Red Protoss player, MaxPax. I don't know why he showed up to Game 3. His Twitch chat has declared that Protoss is unable to win games. His recent wins against Clem have officially been declared a fluke by the chat. Clem probably part of the Terran Illuminati, trying to make it look as though Protoss can still win. As in the top right, our blue Terran player, ByuN, didn't get the memo that you're meant to drop some games so that Protoss don't get buffed. Am I doing it right, guys? Yeah? Nice. Chat's gonna give Wardy a heart attack. I just don't know how you can look at recent results. Honestly, I don't know how you can watch recent games and be like, Storm's bad. Like, I just don't get it. Like, yes, you can't drop Storm on top of units that are already moving and expect one Storm to, like, make the Terran cry in a corner. Like, oh no, you have to do more than cast a single spell? Oh, I'm so sad for you, like... Yay. Probably is going to recall home, which is the right call when you get locked in, so going to bring that back. Let me see now. Warp Gate coming through, the Adept on the way, factor in the reactor coming up. Get ready to roll. We just have our Nexus coming through. We got CC dropping down. Expansion play. It is after the factory, so pretty safe just in case there's any kind of early Adept aggression or so. The Helene will help a lot in turning that around. We will get the Reaper across the map as well, as we just move through to try and put some pressure on. We're going to see a couple probes coming around. The Reaper will be shooting and scooting. And that's a dead Reaper? No? Oh, the 1 HP Reaper. It's still a dead Reaper, unfortunately. Stalker will get the KO, and that Reaper will drop as MaxPax opens into the Twilight Council. and likely to play the blink on the opening, as we see so often. But that counts about a finish, and it is indeed blink. No surprises there to begin with. That shades up into the main base. A couple of Marines and the Hellion going to go in after the Adept. Just going to be seeing the SCVs pulling around. The Adept goes down. A couple of SCVs full, and that will be that. A couple of SCVs though, which is not so bad. Ugh, I'm going to have to turn my chat off because I'm literally getting baited by people. I swear down. Alright. See you later, chat. I can't do it anymore. Gotta actually cast the game here. As our Hellion is going to come across the map, and a Widow Mine is going to go through the center. So no drop or anything, just going to run these out. Just going to burrow this one here and try and get a grab on a unit in the middle of the map right now. Just going to be seeing the Stalkers going to combine to push up, and actually going to have a chance to... yeah, let this Widow Mine do its thing. So Widow Mine will get a connection. One Stalker goes down. Very happy times if you are ByuN. That's one Stalker killed early. And this Hellion just watching for that third base. MaxPax getting the blink on the way, getting that Prism coming through. He is going to be on 3 gateways, so pretty typical kind of pressure here. And like I say, would expect the third base to come down shortly. Looks as though the Stalkers will come across and deal with this Hellion first, and then the Probe will come over. And then maybe we commit across the map with the Prism, as blink is not done in time to get the Hellion at least. That will get pushed away, but not killed. And ByuN is going to build into the Banshee in the tank, getting another barracks finished up here. Going to get ready to add on another one as well. So 3 racks. Get ready to move to those tech labs and start up Stim and Combat Shield in due course. MaxPax just going to go around the side and drop these Stalkers into the main base. Third Nexus goes in. The Templar Archives is about halfway done. Just going to give MaxPax, obviously, his tech choice for the start of this game, at least. As the Banshee and a few Marines step forward, and a couple of Stalkers are going to be able to get after some SCVs. So 4 SCVs going down, going to make it 5. Templar Archives, like I say, not far from being done. So again, a few kills initially, but hey, look at the Banshees go, showing up, and we're going to get some return damage. So it's going to be pretty equal damage across the board, 5 workers each. Biggest difference, obviously, that Banshee goes down, whereas the Prism is very much so still around. So maybe more opportunity for MaxPax still, as we do just have a couple of Stalkers. Actually, good position on the tank here is going to minimize anything else happening. There's one more Banshee still from ByuN. We'll see what that does. It was just 2 he made. Yeah, just the 2. So interesting that one flies in on its own, because the second Banshee is almost never really going to have much value, especially when you know that Banshee is around. Because now you just put a battery in the main natural. It does force the battery, so it's a little bit more damage, but it's not like it's bad to have a battery there anyway for later in the game. So yeah, that second Banshee is not going to provide a lot of value in the end. Impact Combat +1, all the Terran upgrades coming through for the moment. That charge is halfway done. Storm is going to be about halfway done as well, giving us a chance to get that finished. Little scan coming about. The Observer does just go down in scan range. Again, another nice catch from ByuN. He has been so good at catching Observers lately. I want this man's eyesight. It's crazy. He's seeing things that aren't meant to be seen. And again, Observers are bigger than they used to be, right? So it's a little bit easier to spot that wiggle, but man, I keep noticing it lately. Like, ByuN is always killing those obs off. Push coming here from ByuN. Marine tank. I don't imagine he really wants to push before the upgrades, but he might try and get in position for the upgrades finishing. Oh, tank sieging. The Stalker's in trouble. Bang, bang. I think we only killed 1 there, which is kind of unfortunate. Felt like that should have been a couple. So this Banshee actually got 2 probes. I'm not sure how. Did we just energy recharge the battery? Yeah, I think so. So maybe he actually did shoot through the battery and I just wasn't there in time to see it, and got a couple of kills. So maybe just taking a little bit of time to get some units there to play defense. Still the Prism off on the right side. A few Zealots will warp in and jump inside of said Prism and get ready to go in toward the main base. More Marines in some trouble right there. Just going to be seeing The Forge coming through, the Viking going to go in after the Prism. Just going to be seeing the Zealots trying to get in after the rest of the bio as well. Stalkers, High Templars join up at the front. Ready for a little bit of a push toward that natural expansion. Robo Facility coming through. Archon is on the way. Concussive Shells and the armor upgrade coming about. Ghost Academy halfway through. So again, those Ghosts ready to play against the Templar. Robo Facility behind this, as we are going to be seeing a scan for the Obs. Just going to hit initially. You get a little bit of the bio, take some damage there, take some steps back. MaxPax has to approach with caution. Obviously, he's down 0-2. You lose this game, and this series is over, and you're going down to that lower bracket, and ByuN will get a chance in the upper bracket finals. Huge for him. That would be against Solo, if I'm remembering the results from the other day correctly. And Solo's been looking beastly in that ZVT lately. It's been a great player to watch as of late. Couple of Zealots charge up. The couple of tanks will siege. And we push back a little there. +1 attack upgrade. Robo Bay. All coming through. We add on a few more Ghosts. The Medivacs and Marines coming over. The armor upgrade as well. And one more Storm coming down, just kind of zoning this out a little bit. So just pushing a few units away. Zealots into the main. Gets a Ghost, and actually going to go for a little bit more of a warp, and his MaxPax still threatens around the front currently. Just going to see a couple of those Zealots going down. The Prism escapes, and MaxPax is going to come back around to the left-hand side here. Once you just have him taking the map control, taking a 4th base behind it, and looking a lot more comfortable in this game than what we saw him in the previous games. Obviously, Game 1 died a bit early. Game 2, didn't really sat back and didn't try to do much of anything. I mean, that's kind of what he's trying to do here, but MaxPax is finding a lot more openings and a lot more way to kind of keep ByuN away. I mean, ByuN only just now securing his 3rd base. Storm there to, again, just keep ByuN back at the moment. The Colossus are coming through, the +1 and the Thermal Lance on the way out. And, yeah, the couple Colossus going to be popping to join us, and the switch into the next set of splash damage. We already have just, 12 worker lead from MaxPax. He's holding about a 10 army supply lead too. Is that going to be able to allow him to just attack into the Terran, or does he have to fall back and play a bit more slowly here? It's a 4th command center from ByuN on the way up as well. Getting that up and rolling. So ready to try and take that 4th base. MaxPax just joins into the center. What's in the prison? A couple of Zealots. And that Thermal Lance going to be done in a few moments. +2 and +1. Again, continue to come on in, ready to push up that right-hand side. I'm just going to be seeing our Zealots, Stalkers, Colossus, Archons pushing up a little bit. ByuN pretty clumped up, needs to be a little cautious. Splash exists, of course. We've got one Storm over there, just do a little bit of damage already. Again, a couple of Colossus and High Temple all coming through. The tanks sit back a little further too. Makes it very difficult to push in with those tanks still kind of covering this area, so definitely a nice little addition. MaxPax begins his 5th base, so again, ready to just kind of keep taking bases, expand as quickly as possible, try to keep the Terran off the 4th base for as long as you can do so as well. The more you can do that, the happier you will typically be. MaxPax is nearly maxed out, so he's very close to just being done in that regard. Prism gonna cancel the warp in, gets caught. ByuN just moving over to that left side in time, but you see a lot. MaxPax sees a lot of units to the left, so he's actually gonna try and go on the right side. And doesn't find the way in. Again, love these depots just kind of looking to soak up the Zealot charges and so. A couple of EMPs into what is a lot of Archons on that right side as well. Just trying to hit over there. +2 attack coming up. MaxPax steps up a little bit. Just going to be seeing the bio pulling back. The Colossus is going to get to work. Another Storm coming down. Terran has to back away. ByuN going to have to get the rest of the units from the left side and bring it back over. The SCV is having to pull back away from there as well. He does have units over there that can come across. We're going to try and run into this as the Colossus going to put in the work, and the SCVs are going to pull in too, but that is not going to do much of anything. And we are going to see MaxPax at the end of this maybe in a little bit of trouble, as ByuN is going to play cleanup, but he obviously killed a lot of SCVs, and that's going to be a major issue, as we are going to be seeing ByuN sitting strong, sitting tight. A couple of Zealots going down. 26 workers killed. It's a lot of economy to lose out on from ByuN. He is getting that 4th base in position. He's actually going to say GG right there. He's only down 10 army supply. He lost a lot of workers. Like, he's not mining off the 3rd or 4th right now. The standing armies, it definitely feels like, it doesn't feel like a bad G as we get ready to go into the bottom left-hand corner. Now bringing it back a map, and hey, keeping us going for at least one more game tonight. It is going to be our Red Protoss, bottom left-hand side. It is going to be MaxPax. Taking on our blue Terran in the top left-hand corner. It is going to be ByuN. Persephone here as our Ract and our gas come through. The gate and the assimilator come up. It's going to be seeing the probing and take a little bit of a journey towards the upper left-hand side. Seeing what MaxPax finds here early on. A nice little movement from him left and right, and in the end, just able to take a much better fight. Like, I mean, maybe just the layout of the map enabling what he did here to work a lot better than what he did the map before. On Pylon, he was always fighting up those ramps. ByuN had good coverage. He was able to be a lot more spread out in that previous game and just be able to kind of just... I know, while he didn't work a couple times the first times he pushed forward, eventually he found that moment where he was able to commit in and take the fight. He was a little bit of supply ahead kind of throughout. But a little bit of supply ahead doesn't enable you to just kind of run in and take a fight like that. Obviously, ByuN was peeled off to the left-hand side with a few units too, sure, but I think MaxPax just having a little bit more space to maneuver around, able to take advantage of it and putting himself in a good place in that third game to bring him back a map. And like I say, keep this semi-bracket, upper bracket semi alive. Sorry, guys, 7 hours in. My brain's beginning to decide to say the wrong things, apparently. X is halfway done. Reaper in production. We get the factory coming through. And I'm just going to drop a pylon down as well. Command center goes down to the natural. Command center builds. The Stargate on the way. So we just get set up for a few moments. And the couple of Reapers are going to be moving out as the Hellion builds. The SCV chills in the corner. Going to drop a little starport into place, and Stargate coming through. Nothing too surprising early. ByuN sticking with the kind of command center following the factory, so a little bit safe. A couple of units up early to allow him to put some pressure on. In this case, some Reaper Hellion will be able to start stepping forward on the map. We are going to see that Adept is going to be taking some damage, so we're going to be seeing the Adept going down. Hellion taking a few more shots, is finally going to get out alive. And the two Reapers head down to the bottom side as we have the Pylon, the Adept, the Battery, gathering together for a couple of moments. It's going to be a Phoenix, so we're changing into the Stargate opener, something that's a little bit more viable now because of the fact that we are playing the, the fixed version of the Cyclone. So Stargate does not just straight up die, and it gives you a lot more kind of openings than what we've seen before with in PvT. You know, we were really limited to a lot of the Twilight openings in the past, but Stargate, like I say now, a bit more viable again. We're seeing it mixed into these series every now and again. It's a nice one to mix in because, you know, the medevac here loads up, goes across the map, bam, denied instantly. You know, this is going to be harassment that just gets shut down. Gives you a good start from MaxPax. So, yeah, and when ByuN popped in with this Reaper and the Hellion, he saw nothing. So he does not know about the Stargate, which is why the medevac's flying in, and we have ourselves the Phoenix able to put some damage out. Not going to use any lifts or anything, but does deny it. This was maybe not best case scenario for MaxPax, because obviously best case would have been actually getting himself some kills. But obviously denying this and not losing anything and not taking any damage at all is going to be pretty darn good as well. Still building the Phoenix up. We have a Viking and a Siege Tank beyond this. And a couple of Marines in production as well for the moment. Actually, I think ByuN's probably feeling pretty okay about this. Like, a mine drop against Phoenix so often dies. I wonder if it would have been better for MaxPax to hide the Phoenix in the main, and then, like, as the mines drop in, you show the Phoenix, so you just lift, and you can just kill them off, and nothing really happens. Might have been a little bit of a better approach here overall. Gonna be seeing the Phoenix. going to be going through. And one Widow Mine goes down, and Adept and a Probe lost. Phoenix will come back over to the top side again, trying to make their way in. As we see the Starport just pulling away. Viking and a couple of Marines. Cyclone as well. Pulling back also. Just going to be seeing the +1 on the charge. Coming back through. Again, Gateway coming up. Barracks about halfway done. I'm just going to be seeing the Phoenix pulling back a little further. Cyclone and a couple of Marines building online. Again, charge +1. Templar Archives coming on through. And a Phoenix looking to try and maybe get a bit of a poke about onto the medevac and everything else. Pull back over to the left. And SCV goes down. Cyclone going to get lifted and killed. Nice. Just going to be able to clean out the Viking there. So that's going to be a good pick-off. Again, charge and +1 still coming through. Just going to be getting down the left side with the Phoenix. A couple of barracks in the engineering base coming over. Again, gas is coming online. At least we're going to fix that very shortly. And Phoenix is still going to try and come in for a little bit more SCV damage. It's a Widow Mine shot there. That's going to evaporate a Phoenix, so a little bit of value from the hidden Widow Mine in the back. Has 2 kills. Not bad at all, Mr. Widow Mine. 2 dead Phoenix. Ain't nothing to scoff at. Storm in the +1. Charge on the way. MaxPax with that Storm follow-up here to the Phoenix. I mean, Phoenix into Colossus obviously is always a powerful one. Phoenix Colossus' style. But obviously, at the same time, Charge and Storm has been a pretty good combo for a long time as well. So we're just going to move into that part of this right now as the Storm's halfway done. I'm not sure if ByuN's going to be able to do anything any point soon. I mean, we've got upgrades coming by. 1-1, Stim and Combat Shield. Marine Marauder Medevac all coming up. A few Phoenix turn around, back the other way for a few moments. Cyclone locks. Phoenix gets pushed away. At this point, the Phoenix will not do as much. We actually only sticking on 3 Phoenix, so we lost a couple. We're not going to rebuild any, it seems. MaxPax just wants to start building into everything else, so right now it really is a Stormlord army that heads out onto the map. So the few Zealots taking the charge. +2 attack coming up. 1-1. Stim and Combat Shield coming in. Just going to be seeing our army getting right to the northern side here. A few additional Warpins, a few Zealots coming over. And we get ready to battle. And +2 in the Blink coming online. The Zealot Stalker Sentry settles as well. We get rid of the SCV at the front. Get rid of that depot or so. MaxPax just going to threaten on that front doorstep. Try and pin ByuN in a little bit. Gonna get... So it's kind of interesting because ByuN's going to be locked in as natural, and that means the Zealots on the third base will get quite a few SCVs. The Phoenix that are left get rid of the Siege Tank. High Templar dropping down the first Storm. Marines have to split away. Nice second Storm. That combo makes it very difficult for the Bio to run forward. I mean, he only is able to kill things because MaxPax kind of ran into his own Storm, honestly. On the low ground, the Zealots are having a tough time against the SCVs just because they were choked up for a little bit. But in the end, we are going to get 16 workers killed. And that is going to be a very nice opening play from MaxPax. 16 dead workers for ByuN. +2 and Blink on the way over as well. We get Marine Marauder Ghost coming up too. And again, Robo Facility and Robo Bait coming about as we just have... Ooh, that's a nice EMP though, and those High Templar in trouble. We're going to morph an Archon. Ooh, this is not as pretty of a fight for MaxPax. Kind of happening sooner than he wanted it to, probably. Get some reinforcements from that top right gateway. And new High Templar will be ready to storm very shortly as we get chased a little bit. We drop a feedback on the Ghost in the back. Now stepping through again. Feedback's on the Medevac. Just going to morph the Archons because it feels like he thinks he's going to have to fight here very, very soon. He's running with that one Archon. The other two are going to come up. Zealots are going to join the fray. Can we have enough splash damage to make a difference here with the Archons? The Zealots doing their thing as well, and we will continue to chase that Bio army back once again. Well, I mean, been making a pretty good go of chasing it down. I really feel like he felt he was going to get actually quite a lot of those units in the end, but not the case. MaxPax with the defense and able to do a lot. The feedback's really clutch. Taking away EMPs, taking away Medevac healing did a lot to allow the Protoss player to persist in that fight. It's a great feedbacking from the Ghosts. Now we just have the next couple moments of this continuing on through. Yeah, resetting the Medevac count as well. So no Medevacs on the field right now. It just slows you down so much, and you're about to build Colossus. So you're now Chrono Boost, now double Colossus, and, or well, about to be double Colossus, there we go. And your Chronobus now double Colossus into someone who has to rebuild medevac, so there's not really a free kind of pathway to Vikings as there was before. There's obviously a whole new issue. As ByuN stepping out, gonna come around that right-hand side, splitting a little bit of Zealot High Templar on the top side, warping in. ByuN gonna get jumped on here, perhaps a few Zealots going through. The rest of it match may get jumped on as well. That's from the bottom side also, and those few Marines getting caught. MaxPax still just lingering on this top side of the map as we try and run forward. There's a Prism in the main base. A couple of Zealots there, and we're going to get a much larger warp. And we ate a couple of shots on the Prism. It's low, but it gets the warping off, and that's going to be difficult for ByuN to deal with because it's really out of position. And now the Colossus shows up. No Vikings inside. He starts his first Vikings right now. He's not ready for this tech switch of the Protoss at all. And we are going to have ourselves MaxPax's Archons holding. Can't believe he dropped this Storm on nothing and it did no damage. Unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, MaxPax is just controlling this on that right-hand side. His army looking very, very good at the moment. Now the Storm coming down. The Widowmine does hit the Phoenix. A couple more feedbacks coming through. Again, trying to keep these ghosts low on energy, and we do miss that EMP, so the High Templar has the Storm remaining. You can't really run into that right now, otherwise it will kill things. And that is ByuN walking into storms and death. And MaxPax taking game number 4 of this best of 5. Nice job. It's not that Storms... I can't even comprehend what excuse it's going to be. I just know someone's going to be saying it, and I'm just like, I just can't. Like, the thought of seeing something like that is just... I'm already tilted. So... yeah, I just... like, I can't even think what it's going to be. But yeah. Oh, yeah. I can't even think, like... You guys, it's incredible. You guys have actually tilted me so much that thinking about chat actually has me upset. That might be a new record. What I actually don't get is how, when the matchup was clearly broken with previous Storm, the balance winding was not even as frustrating as it is now. Like, like, it's actually gotten worse when the matchup is more balanced. It's incredible. I'm baffled. All right. Get that out of the way. Top left, our Red Pros player MaxPax is on a 2-map win streak. Is he going to swing this around? Is he going to reverse it? He needs one more map to get it done. Bottom right side, the blue Terran is ByuN from the Shopify Rebellion. Game 5 of our series, getting up and running. Cybercork Nexus on the way in, and we will see where we go. Thank you again to OSC for giving us the mid-season playoff replays that we've been covering today. You can check them out more at oscesports.com. Find out about all of the OSC esports events and systems and their world rankings. Again, thank you for the content today. It's been some fun games. Honestly, this best of 5 has been pretty killer. Some very different, like, every game has had a very different vibe to it, where we've had like the aggressive opener from ByuN actually getting through, killing MaxPax kind of, you know, not super early but fairly early. We've had the very defensive game from ByuN where MaxPax looks a bit lost. We've had the similar kind of defensive attempt from ByuN where MaxPax cracks him down and breaks him through. And then we've had, before ByuN can even get that defensive, MaxPax just taking a good position and really kind of bullying ByuN a little bit for kind of being out of position a little bit and taking advantage of that. There's been 4 pretty cool games with very different kind of plays. And now we're going to proxy a gateway here in Game 5 as MaxPax looks to put some pressure out. As we get this ready to roll. So, we get this started, we get this underway. A couple of gateways coming through, so it's going to be obviously 3 gate pressure from MaxPax. Look to get some damage done early. Another way to kind of mix this up, and another way to, again, keep ByuN on his toes a little bit in an attempted reversal of momentum as he's lost the last couple. Depths will be shading down to the bottom right side. Twilight Council coming through, the couple gates still building, Stalker and that warp gate very much so on the way in. And as the few Marines and the Hellion show up, Adepts will take some damage and go back the other way. You're going to see that Adept does not shade back, so just sticks around and then gets killed. It's scary. This Adept's in trouble. This one's not going to shade there, but that makes kind of sense. Maybe it would have been stuck. I don't know. Adept is going to get away anyway, so I guess it's kind of fine. Cyclone Marines continue to come through. That Twilight Council building. So back to the more normal kind of build. But the outskirts, or the exception from the normality of the Twilight, is the fact that we did have this third gateway. And we will still have quite a few units to poke with at the front. No ramp on this natural, so that defensive part is gone. The Cyclone's out of position, gets a lock on, but has to be forced away. It's not behind anything else. As now we got the Adept shading up into the main base, and then the Stalkers on the low ground are going to get a couple of SCVs as well. So MaxPax will start to get some damage done early. A couple SCVs going down. The Orbital is going to move over. Just going to land that in position as the depot will come down into the back. And we're just going to relocate the Orbital back to the natural after that. But yeah, that's a painful moment or two. Gun Cyclone across the map is forcing a couple Stalkers there at least. So it's less Stalkers that are on his front doorstep, if nothing else. So there's a little bit of a win there, I suppose. There's the Stalkers and the Adept poking their way through the Orbital command. The Banshee still coming over, and just going to get rid of that Adept already. Stalkers will take some more damage. The Marines still stepping through. SCVs and the Cloaking coming up. The Marines continue to push. The Cyclone locking on to an additional Stalker. There's another Stalker going down. It's going to be another nice grab as our Marines and the Cyclone still pushing up into the center. Cyclone locks on. Stalker still taking some additional damage. We will see Cyclones, Marines, tanks pushing around the other way. Cloaking coming up. Banshee in the tank coming over, and these Stalkers will just continue to move to the natural bunker and the depot setting up. Now, tank looks to be in an okay spot there. We will deflect the Stalkers in the end, and we have got ourselves some Banshee play coming through from ByuN. First Banshee just chilling in this natural, waiting for a repair, but with two Banshees out, we'll see if he can go across the map and harass, or if he just wants to kind of, maybe he does want to still try and push with everything. Not sure how much that's going to really work for him necessarily, but we shall see. Bunker is going to come online very soon. Again, just going to see that Temple Archives about halfway done. So back to the Storm once more from MaxPax in this series. A couple Marines jump out of our bunker. Again, the Engineering Bay and the Barracks all coming through. The tank is going to be done shortly. Got those extra gates coming online. The Temple Archives finishing soon as well. The charge is producing, and yeah, we have ourselves the Stalker still holding the front. In the end, ByuN is just sending the two Banshees around the map on their own accord. Just going to be keeping everything else back at home. You can see the depot going down. Tank is going to go in after the Stalkers. Just going to see another depot taking some damage. Marines and a Cyclone still stepping up. Again, Storm on the charge coming through. The extra gateways coming about. Just have ourselves the Banshees still making their way up that left-hand side. Going to get past a pylon. Stimpack on the +1 coming over. We have our siege tank going to be caught in the back. Needs to be careful. Actually, probably a missed opportunity there. We focused on the Marines initially. That may have been a mistake. Those Banshees didn't realize they actually had cloak, but they are going to get here. Miss hits initially, but now will start to get some kills. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 probes. Somehow we got only 6 probes. I don't know how, but yeah, we only got 6. I'm sure he shot 7 times, but apparently one of them didn't connect. Or maybe they were a little bit misaligned on one of the connections. So either way, 6 workers down. Not a bad start. Now going to go back into the natural. The Banshees take attention there while pushing toward the third with everything else. But I think we're right to probably back away here in total. It's going to be 3 more workers for now. And yeah, I think just kind of makes sense to back away with the main army. It did look like MaxPax was having quite a lot to be able to deal with that. Yeah, he had charge. He had an immortal. I think it was a fine call from ByuN, who heads back home. He's not close to stim combat or +1. Like, he's closer now, but when it was maybe going to force a fight, he was nowhere near those upgrades. So he did find damage as well with the Banshees, so I don't think he's in any rush to do anything else. There's a couple more Zealots get about. Looks like we just cleaned the Cyclone out over to that side, and MaxPax will sit out the front of the natural. ByuN building his 3rd CC here. Has that collection of siege tanks. I just can't imagine MaxPax can do anything into the natural. I don't think he can kind of push into that position at all. Zealot, Stalker, Templar again gathering up. Marine Marauder Medevac coming through. We have ourselves the +1 and the Observer in production. Still getting that production tab busy. As a missile turret or so comes down on the side. Just prepping for defense later in this game. ByuN's Ghost Academy is completed, so that's going to be a big part of this. As his main goal now is to push out and take that 3rd command center. Try and get that into position. If you can get that in position, then that's great. Oh, sorry, horrible time to look across the map. I was looking to check on what that Banshee was up to. As we see a tiny bit of a fight. Yeah, this Banshee just sitting between the bases here. I don't hate it, right? Just sat there, just keeping Stalkers back. There's quite a lot more Stalkers there than maybe really necessary. But at the end of the day, it is taking some attention from MaxPax, and you know, as far as ByuN's concerned, that's got to be a big positive, right? That's a big plus at this kind of point in time. Observer will move around at the front. WardiTV in position a bit further forward. A couple depots coming in. Because of Shell's armor upgrade coming about, our ByuN army is going to fire up and move up there. So let's take some damage. High Templar to storm on the Buddha mines. They're not going to unburrow, which means they will die. Surprised ByuN doesn't unburrow that one in the back. Like, the one in the front was going to die pretty quickly, but the one in the back absolutely had time to unburrow and back away. Feedbacks on the Ghosts. Again, MaxPax really playing for the feedbacks on the Ghosts, and again, hits the Storm. I know we're all going to laugh because, oh, it didn't do any damage, but it does start to drain some medevac energy. Gonna drop a Storm now towards the Siege Tanks, which are really nice. Storm on the left side as well, and those Storms are adding up. However, the High Templar got very close, and that maybe was one of the issues here, as all the High Templar die, and MaxPax gets forced away. Maybe, I wonder if Storm could do with, like, its one extra range back or so, or something, because I think the biggest issue I do see when I see Storm is, I know everyone's complaining about damage, whatever, but I do think just sometimes casting it in a meaningful position is genuinely like is genuinely the most difficult part, especially with Ghost on the field. And MaxPax is doing a great job, you know, feedbacking the Ghost to create those opportunities. So, I think that's the one change I would maybe like to ask for Storm if we were gonna actually ask to change anything. Obviously, just goes down in range of the turret apparently for vision. As we are set with Zealots on the right side. Zealot Stalker High Templar on the left side. Just going to see the Command Center getting cancelled up, and it's a big deal. On the right side, we got defended against. A couple of EMPs missing. A couple more shots just coming through. A couple more feedbacks coming into place. Keeping those Ghosts from being able to cast as much, keeping as many EMPs from hitting this board. More shots coming through. The Archon still coming about. Nice feedback there. Nice EMP there. Sorry, hits that one High Templar that was approaching. Access High Templar have been very nicely split in this game as well, forcing each and every Ghost to use an EMP basically. It's a Storm there, but they're going to run through it a little bit. Now the next Storm comes down. ByuN decides he's going to have to back away. The Colossus trying to hold their own. This is literally two Colossus and an Immortal holding their own right now against this army. ByuN is probably going to play cleanup. Oh, I mean, the Vikings will clean up in the end. Another Colossus shows up. I don't know if he wants to run down here with that Colossus, you know. Meanwhile, Zealots are having a wild time over on the right-hand side. Getting through there. 10 SCVs going down. Colossus coming up, close to attack. Thermal Lance coming over. Just going to be seeing the pylon getting picked away at the Warp Gate, getting depowered. I'm just going to be seeing our command center drop into the front. Fun fights, honestly. Very fun fights, back and forth, a lot being lost on either side. It's a fun game, right? Resources lost is 10.6 to 8.1, but MaxPax, I mean, that's kind of how it is meant to look in a way, right? When the Protoss is able to have such a stronger mid-game economy by just expanding so much and taking map control, it's fine that they trade inefficiently. It's fine that some of these units go down because they have the resources to replenish them, right? Like, MaxPax's economy is here to allow him to play like this. ByuN's Armory just about to finish, noticing that his upgrades are going to be kind of slow. 3-1 on the way from MaxPax, 2-2 can start from ByuN. It's kind of fine for now, but maybe +3 against +1 armor would be kind of scary with Colossus at certain points here. Maybe something to look at. On the right-hand side, the gateway depowered, and we just have a couple of moments as the 2-2 upgrades continue about. Vikings on the way. SCV's building, depot in production. The army of MaxPax looking to try and step forward for a moment or two. Not going to happen just yet. This army is really looking to get involved as we have the High Templar. Drop one Storm at the front, pushes a few of the units back, and Stepping into his own storm for a second as he tries to get forward. So that's on the right side. Looks as though the High Templar already out of energy here, but we will charge through. So there's a lot of units from the right. MaxPax's going to use that as essentially a pincer move as he moves forward there. Does he in the MP02? Has a storm available, drops it very cautiously. And we do end up having to just back away. Still got another 7 SCVs, and these Zealots able to walk out of there alive is a big deal, right? Like, these did not go down. They survived. So a few Zealots lost, but not everything, and that means that you do not lose too much in that moment. Still about 2,000 resource loss difference. The last couple of fights have been pretty even in terms of the trades. Couple of EMPs coming down. Archon's just going to be hit. It's going to be seeing the Colossus going down as well. Just going to be seeing the EMPs coming down all over the place. Vikings taking a bit more damage. Storm still connecting onto said Vikings. Archon Colossus continuing down. MaxPax in a good position. 2-2 upgrades still coming about. +1 ship weapons coming over. As the EMP is still softening up the Archon frontline that is being built here. There's a lot of Archons involved. Getting those into the fight is pretty tough. That's the issue. Closing the distance with this army right now. Couple Colossus in the back. Zealots are going to come charging through. MaxPax still up about 30 supply in this game, and he has money in the bank account to spend as well. It's a good storm. That zone stops you freely chasing through here. So now if you want to step in toward this army, you're going to take a bit of damage, and that's obviously going to soften you up for the Colossus to hit from far away. Zealots still threatening to come in. The SCVs are going to start pulling into this. ByuN decides it's time to go, go, go. Viking is going to go in after the Colossus. Zealots charging through. A couple of Archons are firing. That's going to be MaxPax winning this fight comfortably in the end. Great engagements, back and forth, keeps on going, just has the consistent High Templar reinforcing, always has an extra storm or two to soften and reposition the Terran army. Colossus in the back doing a lot over time. GG's, and that is going to be MaxPax taking it 3-2 in the best of